Everything I would say in this video can be subjected to change, so please keep that in mind. Okay, let's go. Number 1, Songhua. Free 4-star rarity character that is a sword wielder in which you could pretty much get from the login event in game. You will get her on the 5th day of playing Wuthering Waves. She's an amazing sub DPS unit and a perfect glacial synergy for glacial units, of course. What makes her a great sub DPS character for glacial characters, you may ask? Well, it's pretty simple, and she don't have to be, forced to be just on a glacial team either. Once you get Songhua nodes max to level 6, she can increase all team members' attack, which increased by 10% for 20 seconds, and this stacks up for 2 times. While sure, it's ideal for glacial characters, until another better DPS character or unit comes out besides Lin Yang, you can use Songhua for this exact reason for other damage dealing characters. There's nothing special about Sonhua's skill or her liberation or ultimate for an easier term. All of her attacks mainly deal glacial damage. Lastly, if we want to talk about her outro skill, Silver Snow, the next character on your team that takes the field will gain a huge 38% basic attack damage for 14 seconds, and this ends once the duration has ended or your character has switched off the field, and this goes perfect for any character that could utilize basic attacks such as Rover. So if you want a perfect sub DPS unit that could synergize with multiple damage dealing characters, you should easily go and build Songhua the moment you get her for free after the game release for next week. Number 2, Rover. Free 5-star unit that you could get when the game begins. Amazing main damage dealer. It's funny to include Rover on this list, but I believe 100% you should not miss out on wanting to build Rover the moment you begin the game. In fact, I argue that they're one of the few best units in the game at the moment you can build the moment the game release, as many people normally skip out on the main character as they are weak, but not Rover. Rover could self-buff themselves, self-heal themselves and teammates, and a perfect all-around character that could also solo content. And not to forget, they have an easier time pairing in the game for what I hear. So if you want to save your in-game currency and skip any first day banner, you should 100% invest your time into building Rover when the game release, as the Rover will make the content itself much more easier to clear. And funny enough, you could pair Rover with Songhua together on a team, and both of them are literally free units that you could build right around the game release. Number 3, Kacharo, an amazing technical main damage dealer. Sadly isn't a free character, but a 5-star character that you should more than likely pull for. Kacharo is a beast when it comes to wanting a character with great damage, and probably is top 3 main damage dealing characters at the time of recording this that you probably want to go for. Luckily enough, I believe he's a 5-star standard character, so you should be able to get him anytime on a standard banner without worrying about too much of him leaving anytime soon on a limited time banner. If you're pulling for Kacharo, you should probably want to pull for the next character that we'll be mentioning in a second, but for now, you should probably wait for Yelin whenever her banner releases, as she will make a perfect synergy for Kacharo compared to other characters at the time of making this video, since Yelin could buff other electric unit characters and Yelin Kit does AoE damage that Kacharo could of course take advantage of. So if you want a really strong damage dealer the moment the game starts, you should try to reroll or attempt to get lucky and get Kacharo next week. Don't say I didn't tell you so. Number 4, Verona. Amazing strong support unit, not a free 5-star unit, but a 5-star support character that I highly recommend pulling for. Verona is easily one if not the best units in the game at the moment. If you're looking for a strong support unit the moment the game release, pull for Verona. She synergizes with almost every single character in the game, especially the characters that I mentioned so far in this video. Kacharo, as Kacharo don't want characters that take up too much field time, as Verona has one of the fastest rotations in the game. She can help you resist fatal damage and grant you a shield, increase all team member party attack with her inherent skill called Gift of Nature, and lastly, she can recover the next character HP that's going on the field when switching out, and increase all type damage by 15%, making her the best and valuable support character for any team in the game for your main and sub damage dealers. So if you want a character that could easily help your main DPS characters and possibly support character that won't fall anytime soon as a casual player, you should pull for Verona. Number 5, last but not least, Encore, a great fusion damage dealer, not a free 5-star character, but you could get her off the standard banner. Encore, a character I plan to main in the future for the fun of it, is a character that deals a great amount of damage, especially coming from her liberation or ultimate that could easily give her a reduction in damage taken by 70%. Just like Kacharo, she's another daily main damage dealing character. Now, since there isn't any fusion buffing characters in the game, you will want to pair her with any characters like Yinlin that could buff her ultimate or Jiajin And you can use somebody like Verona as well, that I pretty much mentioned earlier in the video, as she too will also be a huge help to buff Encore and maximize her damage. And Encore Outro skill generates a flame zone area around the skill target. Anything within the radius of it inside the flame receives continuous burn damage for 6 seconds, which doesn't make her a great sub DPS unit of course, but she will still remain to deal damage the moment she switch off field. Now, of course, she may not be crazy as Cacharo, she's just another amazing and great main damage dealing character that you could probably go for once Wuthering Waves release. And that concludes every single character that I personally think you shouldn't ignore when Wuthering Waves release. If you found this video helpful and learned something new, be sure to comment down below who you plan to main when the game release. Anyways, check out my last video where I made a tier list ranking every single Wuthering Waves character, and I'll see you guys in another video soon.